The earth has been the source of many materials used to make art. Clay is the raw material for ceramics. Colored stones and soils make paint pigments, and stone is carved into sculptures. As well as extracting materials from the earth to make art, for many centuries, humans have shaped the earth itself into art objects. The Nazca people of ancient Peru drew enormous outlines across the land, some of which we can recognize as animals, such as this huge spider and this monkey. One of the most famous examples of land art in North America is the Great Serpent Mound near Locust Grove, Ohio. More than 1,000 years ago, native peoples sculpted a 1,254-foot-long serpent that snaked down a low ridge, ending in jaws about to swallow an egg. The egg may possibly be a burial mound. The people who made this mound understood astronomy. The head and egg align with the sun on the summer solstice, the longest day of the year. The largest collection of prehistoric mounds in North America can be found at a site in southern Illinois called Cahokia. Here, from around 1050 to 1250 BCE, was an entire city that was home to around 3,000 people. Cahokia's landscape was shaped by mounds spread over an area of nearly 4 square miles. The largest was Monk's Mound, which stood 100 feet high at one end of a great plaza. The construction of Monk's Mound was an enormous project that involved moving 814,000 cubic yards of soil. The ancient art of shaping the land continues today. Land art is the name of an art movement that began in the late 1960s and strove to offer an alternative to the restrictive and commercial setting of museums and galleries. Between 1969 and 1970, land artist Robert Smithson constructed a work called Spiral Jetty in the Great Salt Lake in Utah. This coiled form was made with 6,550 tons of rock and dirt. Spiral Jetty is repeatedly submerged by the lake, only to emerge again with a new crust of salt crystals. Like Smithson, contemporary British artist Andy Goldsworthy makes sculptures that interact with nature. Sometimes his land art is created in remote locations and can only be appreciated through photographs. Goldsworthy's Touching North is a group of snow sculptures made by the artist at the North Pole in 1989. Some of his works, however, such as Lambton earthwork, built on abandoned railway tracks in England, are designed for public interaction. People can experience the earthwork by riding cycle tracks alongside it, or walking along the top of the spiral. Goldsworthy has also worked in the USA, and in 2001 he created a series of cairns. Cairns are piles of stones that have been made by man since ancient times and used as landmarks. In this series, Goldsworthy marked 3 points across North America: on the West Coast, East Coast, and in the Midwest. Goldsworthy positioned his stone sculpture West Coast Sea Cairn in Half Moon Bay, California. When the tide came in, this cairn was destroyed by the waves. East Coast Sea Cairn in New Rochelle, New York, was repeatedly engulfed by the ocean and then re-emerged, but eventually it too was destroyed by the sea. Goldsworthy's Midwestern Cairn in Iowa survived a prairie fire and each summer is covered by tall grasses. All 3 cairns survived through Goldsworthy's photographic documentation. Contemporary land art often explores topical environmental concerns, highlighting the power and beauty of nature and the fragile relationship between man and earth. But as we have seen with Robert Smithson's spiral forms and Goldsworthy's cairns, the work of 20th century and 21st century land artists has strong visual links to earthworks made thousands of years ago.